$700. Good old Mr. Biden has approved of $700. Rather, sorry, he has requested $700 to be sent to Maui. And the running theme is that that's what he could do because that's what FEMA can do without congressional approval. I would accept that. However, if he wasn't going to Congress all the time for money for Ukraine in a much larger sum. Now, hear me out. National issue. Your country's in peril. There's a state that needs help desperately. I'm going to request money for Ukraine in the amount of $40 million. But I'm going to give the bare minimum to Hawaii. I'm pretty sure that's a state in the United States. Yes, that is a state in the United States. I'm just going to give them the bare minimum of $700. Now, mind you, $700 anywhere else might mean something, but in Hawaii, with the cost of living there, and it's per household, not per household, $700. They might be lucky if they can get half a grocery run, if there was a grocery store. Now, I would think, this is just me, again, I'm not the smartest guy. If you were to say, yo, what? Fire, emergency, we need a meeting, get Congress in here, we need to approve $20 million. For what? Building note to send to the people. $700 is what you decide, though. Now, again, I get that people don't want to admit when they're wrong about somebody. But in this case, you were warned about this man. Heck, you were warned about the Democrats. Hawaii voted blue. Now, I understand that Hawaiians, they didn't want America in there to begin with. They didn't want the American government over them to begin with. But when they were brought in, you still voted blue. More than 65% of you voted blue. You want to know the results of voting blue? The results of voting blue is a poor response to a national event like this, and also the inability for $700 to get you anything. And Biden knows this. Biden, of all of them, knows exactly that $700 is not going to go anywhere. He is spitting in your face. And he knows it. Now, it's not like you're unique, though, okay? Hawaii, don't get me twisted. Maui, don't get me twisted. You're not unique to that treatment. It's a blue treatment throughout all the other 49. Anywhere there's blue, they get treated like this. You just happen to be the most prominent right now. As for people who still support Mr. Biden, I want to hear how you justify going to Congress for more money for a foreign country than you do not going to Congress for funds for one of the United States family. Whether we want to admit this or not, left or right, he's an incompetent human being. He does not deserve any office whatsoever in government. Aside from his flaws as a person, he has zero, and I mean zero, ability to run this country. As for the response time and the subsequent payout, they're not even comparable to what should have been. Now, I understand that many may not like what happened. And you're going to say to me that we could not prepare for it. If that is really your stance, let's go with your viewpoint for just 1 second. You didn't have a way to prepare for it. With the stories coming out from the locals about water being shut off and blocking, do you think that's a response that is necessary during the event? Let's say you didn't know it was coming. Your response is to keep people within the confines of the fire and shut off the one thing that could put it out. And then to add salt to the deep gaping wound, you give him $700 and say, here. There's a scene in Uncle Buck. I don't know if you've seen the movie Uncle Buck. It's a great scene. And he's there before the principal, a lady, and he's talking to the lady about his nephew. And I think, well, his niece, one of them. And he gets up and he tosses a quarter to her. And she has this wart. And he tells her, here's a quarter. Go downtown and pay a rat to gnaw that thing off your face. That's essentially the behavior of the president. I'll help you out. Here's a quarter. Go get the worst possible approach to the problem you have and use it. But he's a president for everybody. Man for all United States. $700. I'll say this much about him. He's consistent. When he doesn't care, he really doesn't care.